Welcome to the third episode in our series Astrata Chalk Talks, where we dive into the latest trends, techniques, and strategies in digital quality measurement. And today we are unpacking prospective HEDIS, one of the latest HEDIS best practices, and we're going to show you how you can use natural language processing, or NLP, to scale your prospective HEDIS and improve your quality rates at a lower cost. First of all, what is prospective HEDIS and why is it so important? Prospective HEDIS defines a set of work processes that move your health plan from a primarily reporting and reactive stance to a intervention-focused, proactive stance. Prospective HEDIS is known by many names, like year-round review, everyday HEDIS, concurrent HEDIS, and HEDIS 365. But whatever you call it, prospective HEDIS produces better population management, higher quality rates and quality bonus payments, as well as decreased provider burden and member abrasion. Over the past 3 years, we have seen an ever-increasing number of health plans adopting prospective HEDIS for good reason. As the hybrid methodology is retired, your rates are at risk unless you are able to use clinical data during the measurement year to ensure that you are recording the most accurate compliance before the doors shut on December 31st. Medicare Advantage plans are feeling this most acutely for colorectal cancer screening, COL, in 2024 because this measure has fallen out of the hybrid season. Whatever you are typically getting as lift on top of your admin rate from your hybrid review process, let's say that's 5%, you can expect to lose that amount in your 2026 star ratings if you do nothing this year. But COL is not the end. It's just the beginning of a move away from the hybrid methodology. You might be thinking, can't we get direct data directly from EHRs as FHIR and CCDs? Will we really need to be doing medical record review in the future? And the answer to both of these questions is yes. Because structured data from CCDs and FHIR is great for some things, like blood pressures and A1Cs, but terrible for other things, like identifying whether a new mom is breastfeeding. That will leave most health plans needing to combine unstructured and structured data to ensure they hit their quality goals. Why is it so important to use an underlying NLP platform? Let's start with the financials. If you're planning to stand up a prospective review process to read a large number of charts without an underlying platform, the main challenge you face is that there is meaningful HEDIS evidence in only a fraction of your gaps. So your team will spend most of their time reading charts that are not going to move the needle. Case in point, it's typical without a platform for an abstractor to be able to close fewer than 5 gaps per hour during prospective review. In contrast, with an NLP platform, like Astrata's chart review solution, the same abstractor can close between 30 to 37 gaps per hour, a 6 to 7-fold reduction in the number of abstractor hours you need to complete your prospective HEDIS review, generating a substantial savings. Doing prospective quality review with a much smaller team is an important argument for using an NLP platform, but we think the bigger value proposition is something far more transformative. By knowing the compliance status of all of your members during the measurement year, it gives you the opportunity to address those gaps before the doors close on December 31st. Now you're not just cleaning up data during the reporting year, you are actually intervening to improve healthcare quality during the measurement year. What are these NLP platforms and how do they work? Natural language processing is a hot topic these days because of applications like ChatGPT that are based on large language models. These large language models are the latest in a series of advances in NLP that have given us tools that can read and extract the important information from text, like clinical notes, without human assistance. For example, if I have a chart that says, in the history, colonoscopy at Cleveland Clinic in 2021, I can use NLP to identify the fact that there was a colonoscopy performed and to identify the date, in this case 2021. NLP can be used in several different ways in quality measurement, and the two primary ways are called first pass and second pass. Let's talk about second pass systems first, because they are much simpler and more common. These systems are used after your hybrid season to pick up things you might have missed. For example, you might upload several thousand non-compliant charts and be able to find every note where it says colonoscopy. The goal here is to pick up a few additional cases that your hybrid team might have missed. Many second pass systems try to masquerade as first pass systems, but it's important to understand that they are very, very different. In contrast, true first pass systems, like Astrata's chart review solution, ingest and read through vast quantities of clinical data, and they triage the cases and encounters you need to read. This triage process produces huge efficiency gains. For example, on average, chart review customers read only 10% of their gaps and only 3% of the encounters for their non-compliant populations. To minimize both false positives and false negatives, NLP for first pass needs to be able to do three things very accurately. It needs to be able to extract and reason with dates. The date 2021 here needs to be associated with the colonoscopy but what if it says something like colonoscopy last year? Then we need to infer the actual date based on the date of service. 2, it needs to understand the context, to understand the meaning of what is found. For example, a note that says mother has colon cancer should not be classified as an exclusion, and a note that says patient will get a colonoscopy is non-compliant until the procedure is complete. Finally, a first pass system needs to know about the NCQA HEDIS specification in order to select the gaps that meet the standard of compliance. For example, a colonoscopy procedure a procedure note, let's say, that was terminated early should not be considered evidence of compliance. To operationalize all of this, your abstractor will use a product that has the NLP tech selecting the gaps in specific clinical notes for them to review. Once they confirm the service details, the system will produce a row in a non-standard supplemental data file that goes into whatever HEDIS engine you happen to use. A new gap list is generated, and around we go. One advantage of prospective HEDIS is that it's not a huge lift for your IT teams. They mainly need to provide data or help another integration vendor to provide the data. That makes it an ideal place to start as you put together your strategy for digitizing your HEDIS operations. And there's another reason to get started on prospective review right away. By making this first move and showing impact, you're building leadership buy-in for much more challenging digital quality transformations ahead. In short, no reason to wait. Prospective HEDIS is too important. See you next time on Astrata Chalk Talks.